Today, the topics I did yesterday about boosting self-confidence after a narcissistic relationship or marriage or whatever. It was from an encounter with one of you in my inbox, and I was like, no, it sounded awful the way she was feeling and how narcissists can make you perceive yourself as as not worthy. That thing, it ached me. So I said, let me just come and provide a little bit of support. And that is how the teaching came about yesterday. So sometimes I have to be, sometimes I just, I know I don't need to wait on you guys' support to come because pretty much Facebook is a business. But when it doesn't pay your bills, sometimes you feel like, why do I even have to do this? So let's talk about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I was talking about type 2 diabetes the other day, and number one risk factor for type 2 diabetes is that you have to have weight gain. Type 2 diabetes mainly comes from weight gain, and some medications like psychotropics causes that, because there are a lot of psychotropics that if you are taking, you get something called metabolic syndrome. And the metabolic syndrome comprises of cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes mainly, and heart failure. These are complications of metabolic syndrome. So with type 1 diabetes, so the difference is, don't forget, all of it is your insulin level. The insulin is secreted by what, or is regulated and produced by your pancreas. Your pancreas is the system that controls your insulin production and regulation. With type 1 diabetes, your pancreas is pretty much attacked. Type 1 is an autoimmune disorder. Type 2 isn't. Type 1, your pancreas ability to produce insulin is affected because your body fights it. Like how you have lupus, right? It's autoimmune. Your body fights it, right? Your body fights its ability to stay healthy, That is what's going on with your insulin. Is it ISO or something? ISLET. That is what is fighting your ability, the pancreas, and preventing it from producing insulin. So what's the real cause of diabetes? The real cause of diabetes is what I'm telling you. Your insulin, genetics. Your insulin regulates your pancreas regulates insulin production. Your body needs a certain amount of insulin to regulate sugar in your body. Glucose, a certain type of sugar that your body must maintain. We get it from the food we eat, carbohydrates. You get it. So if you are unable, Portia and Demolit, this is what we need to see: more black, strong, independent women on here. How do you even just look at me and decide I'm black and independent? I salute you too, Portia. How do you know that? You cannot just see somebody and assume they are black and independent. What we need to do more is to raise more awareness on health issues, on mental health, and that is what I represent. But to say someone is independent, you cannot just determine by just seeing them. So what we are discussing this afternoon is type 2 versus type 1 diabetes. So somebody asks, what is the main cause of diabetes? Diabetes is if your pancreas is producing enough insulin that your body needs to function, you don't have diabetes. If your pancreas doesn't have the ability to produce insulin, it means you have type 1 diabetes, and that means the type of diabetes you have is autoimmune. It's an autoimmune disorder. Type 1 is an autoimmune. Type 2 isn't. Does it make sense? So in type 2, your body is underproducing. Your pancreas is producing less insulin. In type 1, it's not able to produce at all. In type 2, you are producing some and not enough that usually your body needs. That's pretty much what's going on. And there are risk factors. There are risk factors to why that is happening. So that's what we're going to look at. Okay, if you want me to read it, I have some. This is coming from UVA University. I guess that is it Utah or whatever university site. They said type 1 I don't want to read from that. I want to read from a reputable site. Reputable site. So let's go to a reputable site. Diabetes is one of the most common chronic conditions in the US, but what is it exactly? That will answer your question. What is it exactly? Okay. That's why they say you can beat type 1. Yeah. So what is it exactly? It starts with your insulin, right? Like I was saying, insulin is what? It's a hormone that is produced by your body. Which part of your body? Pancreas. Okay, the organ that produces it is your pancreas. A hormone made in your pancreas that helps your body use glucose. So the insulin helps you to absorb, metabolize, and make use of the glucose that our body gets from the food we eat. You get it? Glucose is, you can get glucose from even fruits and vegetables. Apple, orange, they all have some level of glucose in them. The starchy foods especially, carbohydrates, like the Ghana, we have the plantains, the cassava, I love this one, sweet potato, the Ghana type, these are the food items. Even some vegetables, you will see starch, they have starch in them. Okay, glucose is a good thing to have, and it's true. If you don't have glucose in your body, your brain will not function. When they say somebody is vegetable, like brain, you can have brain death if you don't have enough glucose in your body. Do you know that? Yes. If your sugar, you can become vegetable if your sugar is so low and you are at the time of unaliving, but they were able to revive you. Depending on how late it took for them to revive you, you can lose your ability to have good brain function. That is why when your sugar level is out of whack, it's not in the right ranges, sometimes you get confusion. The ability for you to concentrate, focus, process information and stuff, it gets affected. Okay. So glucose is a good thing to have in our body, but it has to get into our body cells in order to give us energy. Okay. Glucose starts in the bloodstream, and insulin acts as a key that unlocks the doors of the cells. It allows glucose to get out of our bloodstream and into the cells. So that's the function of the insulin, right? It makes our body make use of the glucose, whatever the metabolism process is, and brings it from the food into the cells to give you energy. That is why when you eat carbohydrates and stuff, the excess that your body don't need gets stored in your cells. Most of the time you see them in our body, our stomach. That is excess amount that we don't need. That is what is stored in the body, and having those bulgy abdomens. Okay, people with diabetes fall into what? Two types, two camps. Their bodies don't make enough any insulin. That is type 1. Or their bodies have hard time using the insulin it makes properly. Type 2. So the type 1 people, your pancreas don't produce insulin at all. Type 2, you have the inability to make use of it. But don't forget, type 2 also, you are not producing enough amounts of it. Okay. So that's why you use the medications to help make use of it. What causes type 1 and type 2? Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder. I talked about that already. That means it's caused by an overactive immune system. Your body is fighting the pancreas and preventing it from producing that hormone, the insulin hormone. When you have type 1 diabetes, your body doesn't produce insulin. That's because your immune system mistakes cells in your pancreas as what? Invaders. They see them as threat, so they fight against it. They fight your own body fights and prevents your body from working in your advantage. If you understand the process of lupus and other immune disorders, you understand what this is saying, what I'm talking about. You understand? So your immune system attacks your insulin making cells, destroying your natural ability to produce insulin. So the ISLET I'm talking about, your body fights it and prevents it from producing the insulin. The type 2, however, the type 2 diabetes do make insulin. In type 2, like I said, you do have some ability to produce insulin. However, the body does not use it properly. It is called insulin resistance. So whilst they call the type 1 as autoimmune diabetes, type 2 is called insulin resistance. So your body doesn't have the ability to make use of the insulin that is produced to help in the metabolism of carbohydrate, which is the sugar, the glucose in your body. Okay, it happens when the cells in your muscles, liver, and fat stop responding to insulin. Yes, it happens when your body stops responding to insulin. So when it stops responding to the insulin and the sugar is there, the carbohydrate you consume is there. It is sitting in your stomach, it's sitting in other parts of your body. And that is how, I learned these things like many years ago. So it's still there, and these are the reasons why sometimes I'm health conscious and body conscious. Like I worry about my body, my stomach, and all those things. Cholesterol and diabetes. Those are two things I'm so scared of, because for you to even have heart attack and heart failure, these are the two major risk factors. Your diabetes and your cholesterol. These things put you at risk of a lot of things. Safi is back. Hi, assistant. How are you, Safi from India? Yeah, Safi, good to see you back. Claudette Oliver, that's true about the glucose, but your brain can also operate in ketones. True, that is so true. Sorry, I wasn't reading on YouTube. I like YouTubers when they come. I love them, how they contribute. Yeah, so true. Your body can also operate in the ketones, but it can get to a point where you need to be, it's a ketone, diabetes ketoacidosis is actually an emergency health condition that need to be treated immediately. You need to go to the ER, they need to put IV fluids. You have to be on IV fluids for a while. And then when your sugar level is coming to certain level before they add insulin for it to be treated. So yes, you are right. Immigrant judge of character and not independent but intelligent. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. Diabetes can be inherited, right? It can be. Diabetes can be inherited. It is a genetic. It is something like all disorders. Once your siblings, your parents, your grandparents have it, you are at risk. The ability to have it is high. Yeah. So yeah, it happens when the cells in your muscles, liver, and fat stop responding to insulin, because that is where, when you have eaten, that's where the carbohydrates get stored. Your liver, your muscles, abdominal spaces, I focus on that, these faces, your thighs, hips, everywhere. So when this they have the inability to make use of the insulin in your body, that's how you end up having abnormal levels, and it can become you can, what she's talking about, you can end up having diabetes ketoacidosis. When that's your sugar level will be high because there's no insulin in the body that is making use or helping to metabolize the carbohydrate, the sugar, the glucose. So the level of the glucose gets high, and it gets to an very high abnormal level called ketoacidosis, 600s and above, I think. Yeah. Okay. So going back to type 2 diabetes is like having the key to the house, but the lack, I think they're trying to explain it in a really unneeded level, in an unneeded way. The way I want you to understand it, you have to understand why, what is happening. That is what will help you. And I like people to understand the pathophysiology and the mechanism of action. Okay, so what they are describing, I don't think you need that, but let's go back. I don't think this article is really making any. Okay. Glucose, our bodies use glucose for energy. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't have it, you can have brain death. You can have brain death, okay? Glucose is a type of sugar that comes from two places, the food you eat and the liver. Insulin is a hormone. This is more easy for anybody like a patient or something to understand. Insulin is a hormone that helps move glucose from the blood to the cells. We explained that already. It helps when you eat. The insulin is what brings or goes to attack the food, metabolizes the food, abstract the energy you need from it, the sugar, and push the sugar into your cells, your muscles, your liver and stuff, and help you get energy, help your brain get energy to function, to think, to rationalize, to understand things, and to be focused, right? To not get confused and stuff. So that's why sometimes in mental health, I tell people, someone can be going through trauma and they say, oh, he's ADHD, he's bipolar. I don't like that. Try and do good assessment, because sometimes these symptoms overlap. A person that have anxiety can have these symptoms. A person that have ADHD, true ADHD, can have these symptoms. A person that have going through stress, acute stress disorder, can have these palpitations or disorientation, or they can't focus, or they'll be here today, they are trying to, they can multitask, that kind of thing. So that's the same thing. If you are able to understand these things, you'll be able to know what's going on, and the doctors too will be able to. Understanding this is important for the doctors to be able to diagnose you appropriately. Okay, without insulin, glucose stays in your blood and you cannot use that energy. You see, so the insulin needs to go and make you pull the glucose, which is the energy, your source of energy, from the food you ate, and pull it. Oh, interstitial, and when someone have interstitial fluid, like you see somebody have edema, and if you poke them to check sugar, to check their sugar, instead of seeing blood, you see a whole lot of fluid and a little bit blood. It means their fluid is sitting interstitial rather than sitting inside the cell. So they have to give them like certain fluids to pull the nutrient from the interstitial space to where they need to be. That is what similar process. That's what is going on. So when you have Stella, how are you? Can you please say my name? I just said it. I just said it, Stella. How are you, Stella? Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, okay? So that's the same thing that is happening. You ate food. That food is what's going to give you energy. Have you been so hungry that you're sweating and you are having tremors? But as soon as you ate food, you ate some food, you still like, you feel refreshed, you sweat a little bit and feel like, now I feel like I'm human again, because your sugar is being depleted. So you need to replace it, and you replace it with food. Even though you ate it and it's there, If you don't have good amount of insulin in your body, that will go and attack, make use of that energy, that food you put in your system, and make you pull the sugar out of it, pump it to your brain and to your cells. You will still be deprived of energy. That's how it works. Okay, so pancreas is what? The organ that creates insulin that your body needs to get and use glucose. The pancreas produces the hormone insulin. Your body needs that hormone in a good amount so that, hey, guys, you guys, you are the best. Today, I said I am not going to fail discussing this. Why am I saying that? Somebody bought me 100 coffee today, and the person would not give me their name. And I said, what is going on? You people, let me know who you are. You get it? As we are sitting here, somebody just bought us 50 coffee. You see, so when you support me like that, it makes it easy. So someone done to answer your question. You see, the reason I don't come is coming here is a waste of time. I love what I do, but sometimes I have to prioritize what pays my bills. So when I come and you guys come in your numbers, you come and like, you come and share, and you come and support me, it helps, makes it easy for me to come. So today I told myself, no matter what, I'm not going to disappoint. In fact, I was late coming because I had to do something, but I wanted to come here by 11:30 so that I can catch all the lunch people, the people who are having lunch at work, so we can have this discussion. So TikTokers, I said TikTokers, YouTubers, I'm going to wrap up and let you guys go because I don't like going more than 20 minutes and 15 minutes, and we are 20 something. So you see what I'm saying? So if you support me, it makes it easy for me to come. If you were here yesterday when we discussed confidence boosting, it was like a masterclass. Both videos I did yesterday is a whole masterclass, how you can boost your confidence when you are going through narcissistic abuse. You have gone through it already, or you are going through it, how to gain yourself back, because the narcissists, what they do is to make sure you lose yourself, make sure you believe all the negative things about yourself. I have 2 videos posted in the subscribers group. So please, subscribers, you can have a drive time with them. If you watch those videos I post from YouTube, and you put the things they said in it into practice, they are going to help you boost your confidence, and you become like me. You're like, oh, why did that people tell you are ugly and you still don't believe them? Or why is that people look down upon you, still don't pay attention to them? That's what you become. You become strong. Nobody can break you ever. All right. So, all right. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So you know that type 1 diabetes is what? It is autoimmune. It is your inability for your pancreas to produce insulin, period. On the other hand, type 2 diabetes is not autoimmune. It is your pancreas inability to produce enough insulin. Your body needs like a gallon of insulin to function, to be able to make use of the carbohydrate that you eat. However, your body only produces this amount. So it's not enough. Your body cannot use it. Your body is unable to use it. So they put in foreign insulin. They inject foreign insulin based on your sliding scale or something, or what standing order that your doctor, based on what your doctor decides. And then with that and whatever your body produces, the food you eat, that is foreign insulin, is able to metabolize or process the carbohydrates you eat and abstract the energy, the glucose, and pull it into your cells, into your organs that needs that to function. You get it? Okay. So the islet that I was discussing, the islet cell, this cell makes insulin in your pancreas. You understand? Okay, so the islet cell is inside of your pancreas, and that is what produces the insulin, the hormone. Insulin is a hormone. Your pancreas has other functions such as that can continue even if your islet cells fails to create insulin. Yeah. The similar effects of type 1 versus type 2 diabetes: damage to any parts of the process that moves glucose from the blood cells results to diabetes. Anything that damages the ability for your body or the pancreas to produce and process, that is the ability to move, to go and process the carbohydrate you used and pull it into your cells. Anything that affects that results in diabetes, according to, that's what they are saying, right? That's what they are saying. So signs of both type 1 and type 2. Extreme test. We have the three polyphagia. If you are in nursing school, this will come handy. Learn these things because your teachers, you say it. Polydipsia, polyphagia, and poly what? It's three polys. Polydipsia, polyphagia. Polydipsia, you have high test. You have enough need for drinking water. You drinking. It's never enough. Then polydipsia is what? Polyphagia is eating, and polydipsia peeing. Polydipsia is peeing. You have the high need to pee. When you pee, you are in Africa, you pee, you pee on the floor behind your gate, on the soil. Pay attention. When you go back, if you have bad diabetes, when you go back, you see ants surrounding your urine that you pee on the soil. That is an indication that you should be checking. You should go to your doctor and probably check on your diabetic level, if you have diabetes or not. Yes. So for polydipsia, polyphagia, and which one? I just mentioned all three. I can't remember again. But one is polyphagia, definitely eating more than you need. Polydipsia, and which is the other one? I can't remember. But go and find out the three polys in your diabetes. So that is it. Okay. So extreme test: hunger, fatigue, blurred vision, irritability, increased urination. Yes, so increased urination, increased thirst, and hunger. So increased urination is what I described. Increased thirst and increased hunger. The hunger one is the polyphagia. Okay. Fatigue, and then that's the word I'm saying, the thing I'm saying. I have eye problem. Doesn't mean I'm diabetic. I am not. So you need to assess carefully. You need to talk to your doctors. You need to be careful in this kind of assessment. Don't just assume you are diabetic because you are like me with your eyes that are terrible. Okay. Headaches. You can get headaches, when you have diabetes, type 1 or type 2. People with type 2 diabetes may also experience, so this is the difference. What we just talked about, everybody diabetic, you're going to have it. The other part that only affects, they say only, but I'm telling you, sometimes you can see these things also in those type 1. But they say for type 2, frequent or recurring infections. Very true. If you are not careful and you prick something, you step on a nail, step on something, your carpet, something, and it pricks you, that thing can become a wound that will be lasting. It will never heal. It becomes problematic. So that's one thing you should know, and it gets infected. Okay. Poor wound healing. I spoke about that already. Numbness and tingling in the hands and feet. Fact. That's how something can cut you. You won't even know when it happened, how, because you lack the sensation there. So these are two diseases I hate: cholesterol, diabetes. Okay. Itching. Very, very true. Some people have itching and some people have discoloration. That's where PVD, peripheral vascular disorders, comes in, where because of poor circulation. So your skin, your legs and stuff, especially your legs, your periphery start getting darker, that kind of thing. Problems having erection. Yes, that is very, very common also. So yeah, that is it. But why did I say that type 2? Okay, we want us to talk about risk factors. Let's talk about risk factors. Type 2, a common disease, blah, blah, blah. Okay, risk factors. occurs mostly in people over 45 or in younger people with obesity and genetic disorders. That's type 2. Type 2, your main thing is weight. If a child have weight, kids that have extreme weight gain, you are putting your child at risk of type 2 diabetes. People that also have genetic disorders, like they have history. And some medications, like I'm saying, psychotropics also have a risk of causing that. Okay. Okay. What is juvenile diabetes? Type 1 diabetes. The other day I was telling you guys, oh, type 2 is not juvenile, but type 1 is. This is why type 1 is a juvenile diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, once known as juvenile diabetes, is insulin dependent diabetes. That's how it used to be called when I was in nursing school. Well, maybe they don't anymore, I don't know. But when I was in nursing school, it's called juvenile or insulin dependent because your body, your pancreas cannot produce insulin, period. So because your body can produce insulin, you have to get a foreign insulin injected in your body for your body to use it to your advantage, to metabolize your carbohydrate and abstract the glucose and turn it into energy and use by your cells, pull it into your cells and use it. So that is why it's called juvenile. I don't think that's why it's called juvenile. What I do know, that is the reason why they call it juvenile, is people are born with it. It happens, the onset is in children, infancy, or how long can children with juvenile diabetes live? The life expectancy is reduced by 10 to 20 years for many individuals. The disorder is associated with numerous complications, including hypoglycemia and diabetic ketoacidosis. For children, managing diabetes can lead to enormous stress and depression. It's very common. That's what they're saying. So juvenile diabetes, the exact cause of type 1 diabetes is unknown. But in most people with type 1 diabetes, the body's immune system, which normally fights harmful bacteria and viruses, mistakenly destroys insulin production. The enduring insulin producing cell, the islet, it destroys it. Yep. Genetics and environmental factors appear to play a role in this process. You get it? You said genetics, we talk about that. There is no way you have any disease and you eliminate genetics. It's just not. You're always going to have the genetic component. That is why we all have to manage our health. My son, he was born very heavy. He's very heavy, but now you can see he's slim, but he eats a lot of carbohydrate, and that is a concern. So what's the real cause of the ineffective release of insulin by the pancreas? Yeah, that's the cause. That's the main cause. The malfunction of your, Miss Ari, good afternoon. The malfunction of your pancreas. The pancreas is what is regulating both. The pancreas is what is affected both in type 1 and type 2, but it's affected differently. So in type 1, your pancreas cannot produce insulin at all. In type 2, I have a call coming in. Anyway, I'm going to end this people, the YouTubers, but I can't even answer. Anyway, I'll deal with that later. Good day, talking to you from So you didn't find anywhere in the bag to take me with you. Anyway, I can't blame you. You and Cora, I will not blame you guys. So you have your internet. Cora has the internet auntie here, and never ever think of me when he's traveling to his St. Lucia. Good for you. This Jamaica, I'll go pay. I'll go some. Anyway, YouTubers, it's 35 minutes. That's a long time. So I hope, let me wrap it up. We are here to contrast type 1, type 2. Type 1 or type 2, both are existing because of issues with your pancreas. In type 1, your pancreas cannot produce insulin at all because the cell islet, ISLET, that is based inside your pancreas, and it has the ability to secrete insulin, is affected. Your body autoimmune system, your body's antibodies fight it and prevents it from producing the insulin. Does it make sense? As a result, you have no insulin at all. So you, as a person with type 1, you're going to need foreign insulin injected in your body in order for your body cell food, carbohydrate that you ate, there's glucose inside that, to be abstracted, processed, metabolized, you made use of by your insulin and dragged into your cells, your tissues, your muscles, your brain cells, your liver, your kidneys, and make you have energy to use on a day-to-day basis. Insulin, your sugar, is energy. It cannot function if your insulin is not making use, it's not at the right levels, and it's not functioning enough to go and process that sugar and drag it as a form of energy, oil, petrol, gas for your body to use. That's what is happening. In type 2, however, your body's ability, that is your pancreas ability to produce the insulin, is less. And as it is less, what is happening? Same story. So your glucose level is high. It's sitting there. Nothing is dragging the energy from the glucose to your cells. You get it? So you may eat, but you still don't have the energy. Weight gain is the biggest risk factor when it comes to type 2. So if you can regulate your weight, it can help also. Remember I told you DIF, which is DIF. You get it? So YouTubers, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you guys. Bye. Yeah, you see, so what are the risks?